Hello, it's Oliver Garden here, the Dean of LSU Vet Med, for another edition of my 3Q with Oliver, an opportunity for me to interview the wonderful members of our community who bring forward such talent and contributions to everything we do. Whether it's teaching, healing, discovering or protecting, they do it all and they embrace our values of innovation, compassion and integrity. I have here with me today our new Assistant Professor of Veterinary Community Outreach, not so new anymore, but relatively new, Dr. Krista Miller. She is a wonderful addition to our team and she's already been on the road in our relatively new one-year-old now. I think you've done several.
Yes.
Could you tell us about your experiences in these endeavors and some of the challenges that you've faced? I think the vision and the ethos of bringing low or no cost veterinary care to underserved communities is a wonderful one, but there are of course some challenges. What have been the ones you've faced?
Yes, I would like to state the first actual vaccine clinic that we had about 50 cars show up, and we decided that we would have another drive-through clinic about a month later.
Right.
Did a little bit of social media advertising between Companion Animal Alliance, the Pets for Life program, as well as the councilman in District 5. When we had that second clinic on November 4th, we serviced over 300 animals that day.
It was a busy day.
A very busy day, and it was amazing to see the number of people that needed the services that we were able to provide. However, in witnessing that event, it lets you know that it's only the tip of the iceberg, and you hope that you're making a bigger difference, and you know that you are, but you realize in that moment that challenge-wise, we're only just getting started, and there's so much more to be done, so much more room to make a difference, and it makes you wonder if just you alone and the team that you have is enough. So that's a big challenge in itself of knowing where do we go next with the need that's there.
Absolutely, it's overwhelming, I'm sure. One relatively recent addition to your team is Jacqueline, of course,
Yes,
your nurse.
yes,
So
yes.
tell us about what she's brought to the
Jacqueline
team.
has been an amazing addition to the team. She's very good with animal behavior. She's very good with those that are in the community and a part of the community. She takes her time and she's patient with everyone. I love Jackie's go get 'em attitude because
Right.
she's always ready for the next best challenge,
Absolutely.
the next person to talk to, the next pet to provide a service for. So I think Jackie has been a great addition. She's going to go a long way. She can understand certain languages that I may not be able to understand, but both of us together, I think as a team, will be able to get the job done for sure.
Absolutely. And you say that there's a big need, and I know this. I mean, it's clear, it's very apparent to anyone who knows anything about veterinary care and any population, and certainly those around us here. Tell us how folks can get in touch or make their needs known to you. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably be inundated with requests to provide these services, but how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, so if people have access to online or the website, to go to the LSU Vet School website, from that website, if they click Community Outreach, there will be a way to access us there through the website. They can make their requests at that site, and we'll be able to respond accordingly with those and see what we can do to meet those needs.
Absolutely. And I know that one of the advantages of a self-propelled vehicle, I know that a few schools do this, not many, have very large vehicles that can't get around tight spaces, but this vehicle is big. It's 26 feet long, and we're very, very grateful for Petco Love funding. I mean, they were largely responsible for us being successful in this endeavor, both for the vehicle and you.
Yes.
But it's unique in that it's quite nimble and able to get into tight spaces. A lot of our roads are fairly narrow, and we can still navigate them and provide services to those communities, can't we?
Yes, that is very true. I myself drive a large SUV, not as large as this, but it's definitely a little bit in similarity in turning and moving, but I have found that this vehicle is a lot easier to manipulate than I thought. Because of the van shape in the front, it makes it feel like you're driving a regular van, V-type vehicle. However, the weight of the actual unit itself, you can feel when you are driving. So for me, I just take my time, navigate where I'm going. We do have equipped RV GPS systems, so that guides us a lot to know which roads are accessible and which ones are not for ease of travel.
Fantastic. And one of the things that we aspire to do, and I know that we've had a lot of buy-in from our medical partners in New Orleans and Shreveport and here in Baton Rouge, is a One Health clinic. One Health, as you know better than I, is the nexus of animal, plant, human and environmental health, and we can do it with this clinic. We can access maybe people who've not been to their healthcare provider in years through their pets. Tell us about that.
So we are currently working with different organizations. One recent discussion that's in the works is with Our Lady of the Lake, and actually going out with them as they service members of their community to see if we can ride along to meet them. So those members that may have access to pets, we can now help to provide access to pet care for those that are actually coming to those clinics for services through Our Lady of the Lake. And that's just one idea of who we're working with. Again, we are in touch with LSU New Orleans, Shreveport, and working to see what we can accomplish there as well.
And how far afield do you think you'll be able to go? I mean, a lot of what you've done, understandably, so far has been in our region, but what's the distance over which you'd be able to travel?
I think now we're trying to stick to a 1 hour radius, and I think 2 hours can be max at this point, just because of a smaller team and looking outside of the workday and how we can accomplish certain things within a certain window of time. When it comes to, for sure, the type of services we're providing, if we're looking at anesthetic procedures, those can of course be very touchy about the amount of time that we have to offer to making sure those pets recover properly and that we start things on time. So right now, I think 2 hours max is where we are, and as our team hopefully grows, we can extend the services with more time and more people.
Absolutely. And how do students integrate with your service, because this is just priceless experience for them potentially?
So it's a very interesting dynamic of how we work with students now, being that this vehicle can only carry myself and my technician. However, many students are able to meet us at the locations where we do provide services. They play an amazing job and role on the team of helping to help with administrative and clerical duties. They help to guide clients to different areas where they may not know where to go for services. They help to create an assembly line system for us to be able to get things done in a faster manner. We're also able to work with students from not just the vet school, but for those that are aspiring veterinarians that may be a part of the animal science club on main campus, or even shelter medicine club. We're just able to provide a lot for the students in terms of experience, even learning how to talk with clients and how to work with animals that may not have the best behavior. So they're learning restraint, they're learning different training techniques, they're learning animal behavior and communication. So I think that's a big important component of being able to become a veterinarian, is how to work with the clients at the end of one leash and those pets at the other.
Absolutely.
So eventually we hope to turn this into a rotation where the students can spend time with us on this rig for 2 weeks at a time.
Fantastic. And you're not only serving the students who are here already, who know about veterinary medicine because they're being taught how to be a doctor, but also building pipelines for people who may not have thought about it as a career. I mean, amazing community engagement. And one of the things obviously that I'm aware of, and you no doubt would have been aware of this interviewing here, is the fact that we've got a wonderful shelter, Companion Animal Alliance, within half a mile of us. You contribute to them as well, don't you?
I do, I do. So it's a very interesting dynamic of the different things that I do as a part of this job. But I spend 2 days a week there, me and my technician Jackie, to be able to help facilitate, help with the students as they matriculate through their final year of vet school. So here with the students, we're able to perform surgeries with them, supervise them while they do them. The unique part about it is it's a one-on-one, hands-on approach. So if the students get stumped, they feel scared, we help to boost their confidence because they know that there's a doctor there with them that's not going to let them do the wrong thing. And I find that they are a lot more confident in the process of actually performing a surgical procedure just by having someone there. So being able to be there with those students twice a week to see the gleam of light and hope in their eyes that they'll be able to handle a basic surgery with or without someone there is always an amazing thing. It even for me, as I was mentioning to my technician the other day, it blows my mind that I know how to do surgery, right? So to have someone else that's standing in those shoes that I've been in before, I understand how they they feel. So it's not meant to be intimidating, but more so encouraging and motivating to let them know we're here and we're rooting for them through the whole process. Even when things don't go as great as they would have hoped, the animal wakes up and recovers well in the end, which means they've done their job. So it's a great and rewarding experience for them and for me.
And we have a great collaboration. In fact, their director, Dr. Tana Hernandez,
Yes.
is one of our alumni. So
Yes.
the circle has been completed. And then a final question, which I think is going to be perhaps, for me at least, the most powerful of all. Tell us about your journey, because you're a trailblazer, you're an innovator. This is a really new position, and you're a pretty amazing person. So tell us about your story.
Well, thank you so much for that. Myself, I have been wanting to become a veterinarian since I was a little girl, about 5 or 6 years old. Much like many of these underserved and marginalized communities, I grew up in a similar area. So the love and passion that I had for pets, I had no idea about how to cultivate. Much of that cultivating happened by me trying to figure out what it would take to become a veterinarian. Through trial and error, of course, we did reach the goal, but there were a lot of people along the way that helped to motivate and encourage me. Because those people were there, I dare not become one of those people who can give back to those students who are looking for a resource, looking for a mentor, and looking for a way to get to where they're going. Now more resources exist for students of color as well as any other student that may need those resources into figuring out how to become a veterinarian, let alone being able to have the financial resources available to fund them through the extent of a professional school, because it can get quite expensive. For me, that was years ago, so that has almost tripled in cost since I was a veterinary student. So I purpose in my heart to be able to give back to these communities and the students to make sure that they have what they need to have basic access to pet care. I personally lost a lot of pets as a child, only to realize that the problem was just preventive medicine and wellness, things that access to should have been easy, and then a lack of knowledge for the people in my community. So I really like to spend a lot of my time educating those communities, educating the people that have pets, understanding the importance of pet ownership and what they can do in providing a spectrum of care so that they can provide the basic needs to their pets as well as themselves, and to those children that may be interested in becoming a veterinarian, being an example and a mentor.
That's wonderful, yeah. And as you've just alluded, Spectrum of Care really is a part of our new, completely redesigned curriculum, rolled out last August. It's going really well, and I'm sure you'll have a big part to play in that. So thank you very, very much for your audience. We're really thrilled and honored that you're with us as part of our team.
Thank you.
And I wish you every success and joy in delivering what is an amazing, amazing service to Louisiana. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.